It's like, okay, if you think men are trash, the men you've dealt with are probably trash. And it's probably because you can't attract the men that aren't trash. If you say women are whores, it's probably because all the women you've dealt with are whores. And you can't attract the women that aren't whores.
Mr. Andrew Tate has been banned off the socials.
I know. Andrew, come back.
What do you think about the kind of stuff that he says around dating between men and women and how things should work by his standards?
I mean, I think he speaks a lot of facts, to be honest.
Yo guys, welcome back to another episode. You know, on this channel we love having great conversations about dating in today's day between men and women. I've got a great guest. She's come before. Some of you would have seen her before. Some of you may hate her right now.
Why would they hate me?
You never know. You never know. Some of you might hate her. But look, we always love talking about, having different perspectives and seeing what we can take from all avenues of perspectives to see what helps us move forward. So please welcome Pearl from JustPearlyThings.
Thank you. Hate me.
Look, listen, some people love you, some people hate you,
I feel like the ones that hate me, they still love me.
Do you think they low-key love you?
Yeah, it's like that toxic ex that she can't stop talking about. They love you. They just don't know it.
Even the ones who hate you, they can't help but watch you anyway.
Look, that's what I'm saying. It's like she won't get off your story. You're like, what? You're like, this is a burner account. You're like, I know which girl this is.
You know which it is. So let's talk about that. What do you think people get wrong about you, and why do you think women have such a distaste for you right now?
What do they get wrong about me? Well, they just don't like that I'm telling on them. That's what they don't like. It's like, okay, all right, you got a used car, right?
Oh no.
For years, it's been going by new sticker prices.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, men, you don't have to pay those prices anymore.
It's
a used car.
Do you know what's funny? You know when Kevin Samuels, when he talked to women, and he'd be like, name a product that gets better with use. And no one ever said property. Why is that? Like, property is like a product that goes up in value.
Well, I don't think you could sell that though, like as like a product. Like I would think I guess you do.
It's a product. I think that's the only.
Because I just think, because I would always think of like a store when like he asked that question.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he's right in that. He's right.
Yeah.
So you think women don't like you right now? They have a distaste for you because you're kind of ratting on them.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that everything you're saying they think is true, but they don't want you to say, or do you think they actually believe what you're saying is actually false about them?
Okay. How tall are you?
Me?
Yeah.
6'2".
If I said you're short, would you care?
No.
People only get angry if there's truth to it.
Interesting.
Because it's not true. But you probably have some insecurity, right? That if I hit you where it hurt, like you're a pretty confident guy, but it probably sting a little bit. But if I called you short, it ain't that.
I hear that. I guess. I think there is true. Like sometimes if you do play on someone's insecurity, they don't like it, especially publicly. I think that's fair. But I do think I don't know, if somebody tries to say something that isn't true, people can get riled up about that as well.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of conversations that we've had. Like, I know if somebody says, okay, let's say someone did actually say I was short, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say it was like a friend of mine who's like, oh no, Kit, you're short. I'm like, in what world am I short? And I would get annoyed and passionate because you're just clearly wrong. So I'd be like, you're either A, stupid, or B, you're just saying it to try and get a reaction out of me. Do you know what I mean? If it was some random person who says, oh, I'm short,
I don't know. I think when people vehemently disagree to the point they're angry, like you want to get that riled up about it. You might be like passionate because you're tall.
Yeah.
But especially if he's short, you're not.
But people get angry about stuff they disagree with all the time if they genuinely believe it's not true. Like that happens all the time.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at like rights and politics and stuff, people genuinely believe one thing, and so when others say things against it,
yeah.
Is that not the case?
I'm not going down that route.
Let's keep on dating.
I'm not talking about that.
Let's keep on dating. So talk to us about when did your awareness with dating start, like between men and women, about maybe what you used to believe and your kind of transition into this level of awareness that you start,
Like
getting
red
them
pill,
to-
you mean?
Yeah, let's say red pill, how the world
Mm-hmm.
works, how people date, like, how did your awareness of that start?
Oh, I just started reacting to red pill content last year, or like 2 years ago, maybe now.
Yeah.
I started with rap reactions on my channel. I would do like whitest girl on earth reacts to Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah,
And then someone sent me like Kevin Samuels. And I didn't really like him at first. Because they always would say like my dad's a cheater, and I'm like, stop talking shit on my dad, because they talk about these 1% guys, and I'm like, what the. And I call dad. I'd be like, "Do you have a rotation?"
He definitely has a rotation. No, he doesn't.
But anyways,
He's got too many children. That's way too much energy, as it is.
I know. I'm like, that's what he was telling me yesterday. He's like, "I'm always on the phone with you kids." Like,
You can't even get a rotation track, even if you try.
yeah, but no, I just think that like when he was talking about stuff, like it just made sense to me.
Yeah.
And it made sense with like what I've seen in the dating.
So would you say it mainly started from your dad, and then you started reacting to red pill content, and you're like, oh, this does make sense because this is what my dad told me too.
Yeah, I mean, and like in like the alpha widow thing.
Yeah.
Like in
For those who don't know, can you explain?
an alpha widow is basically You got a girl, right?
Yeah.
She dates this one guy in college. That was the best dude she could do. Or, in high school. It could be Katy Perry's high school sweetheart.
When you say the best, quantify what the best looks like.
So the best is like what that girl values. So maybe she values like money. Mm-hmm. Maybe she values ambition, muscle, like whatever she in like church communities, it's like church status. Like it just.
Yeah.
So like this is the best guy I could reproduce with. And she fumbles bag.
Right.
And then she like can't get over him. So, and you hear it in like pop music all the time, like the one that got away, the one that wrecked my heart.
Right.
I should have never. Yeah, you know, like
give me them bars. All right, come on.
Yeah. But you see, that's like there's so many songs. If you listen to female music, it's like all different versions of alpha widows, like pretty much.
Okay.
Like
So
if you really listen to the lyrics and like the most popular ones, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. So I was gonna say just for clarification, a quote unquote alpha widow is a girl who's dated maybe a guy who was her top choice, and then things didn't go the way she wanted, and now every guy she now dates, she compares to him, and no one matches up.
Yes, correct.
Right.
So basically, there was this girl in college. Oh God, I think you've heard this story before. Right?
Maybe tell us anyway.
Yeah. So she when I heard like what an alpha widow was, she was who I thought of because she dated this dude freshman year. Freshman year guy he wasn't really the job type. He wasn't, but he was, I guess smooth. I don't know, good looking guy. I don't know,
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, not my thing, but
Yeah.
And they dated for like a month because then he cheated. I was like a month.
You don't look surprised.
Yeah, because like she wasn't special. He was doing that like he was kind of like streeting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Streeting.
But then if he said he was gonna be exclusive, exclusive,
I wasn't there.
Okay.
I transferred into this school.
Right.
So I wasn't even there when they dated. I just know that's what everyone said they did.
Happened.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Senior year, she's dating a new guy. He buys her house. Yeah,
Wow.
like they move into a nice big house together. I guess I don't know who bought it. I just assumed he did. She very well could have. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah.
And I went to a party my senior year, and it was crazy because I was in the basement of the party, and this girl tried to gaslight me too. Like I didn't see this, but you will not gaslight me. I saw this with my own eyes. She walks out of the bathroom with the dude from freshman year.
Oh.
And like, 'cause everyone was waiting to go to the bathroom, and like that's what I was waiting for, and I'm like, God, this is taking forever. And then
Wow.
the dude from and then the guy that she dated, who's dating currently, came to the party like half hour later.
Wow.
But that's the thing, like alpha widows, like it doesn't matter who she's dating, she'll.
But so here's the thing: is that not is that not more, because I understand the premise of comparing every guy you've met compared to the one you feel got away and not feeling they match up. I get that. Yeah. But her actually acting on that, is that not more of a reflection of her character as opposed to just being an alpha widow?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you're an alpha widow, like, you don't have to act on it. Like, you can always...
Yeah, but I know females. 90% of them will.
Well, also, it depends on what it is, because it's like, you know, you could have had the top jock in high school.
Yeah.
Then, you know, when you're in your late 20s, you're looking for something more serious. Then it could be more what you're looking for. The priorities have changed. Do you know what I mean? So then the guy in high school who maybe at the time you felt would have been the one who got away, he actually may not be your top choice now.
Yeah, but it's like the genuine desire, though. So she has the genuine desire for the guy from high school, where she looks at the second guy as more of like a provider.
But are we not, so genuine desire, are we just purely talking about the sexual desire?
Partially.
Because I would argue that, so if she's, let's take a girl in her late 20s, she's looking to settle down, right? Mm-hmm. The guy from high school, he's still really hot and attractive, but let's say he's actually not done that much. She's not going to choose him.
You're right. You're right. Like, he has to, like, men must become, women just are loved for who they are, they say. Like, no, like, he has to, girls only stay with a guy that, like, that's a bum for so long. And then. So
can she still have genuine desire for that same guy if he's not?
I don't know. Ask the alpha widows.
I'm asking you. You're the guy. You know women.
I mean, I would say, like, she has to feel like the dude she's with is better than the one from before.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, you asked this question on when I was on your podcast, saying, you know, would we rather a guy that you settled for her, or rather that she settled for the guy? And I think, yeah, it's always best if he's her top choice. But then her priorities change over time, so it can be like her top choice at 22.
Well, that's why
28.
Well, yeah, that's why they say that she marries the beta and cheats with the alpha, and then leaves the beta after she's got the kids. So you gotta be careful.
Do you think there are alpha and beta women in the same way that alpha and beta men?
That's a good question. Sort of. I guess they say there's alpha females, right? The ones that are like dudes.
Is that what you class as an alpha female?
Just like when you see the ones that are super masculine and like come in with like their, Kevin Samuels would say, like, their dick out.
Yeah.
You know.
Can you be alpha? Can you get a woman she's the top woman in her spheres because she emulates the highest level of feminine energies and qualities?
No, that's not what I think of. I don't know. They don't really use those traits for those words for women. So it's a good question, but I've never really, like, if I think of alpha, I think it would be more like she would be masculine. That's what I would think.
Like quite dominant.
Yeah.
I guess, which is, I guess, quite a masculine trait. I hear that. Is there anything that you know now that you wish you knew when you were 21?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, tell us. Like what?
I'd rather not.
You don't want to tell us? Okay, tell us something that women can take away from. So if you're talking to like a 21-year-old
girl, I would go back to 19 actually, or 18.
Okay.
I wish I waited till I was married.
You were
Yeah, so I wish I did that.
Okay.
I just think it would have been like cute.
Why do you say that?
I don't know, I just think it's like better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like cute, but at 21 it would have been too late, so. She'd be like.
Have you ever given, because you've got a younger sister.
Yeah.
And have you ever, how old is she, if you don't mind me asking?
Which one? I got 3.
What's the oldest?
The oldest youngest?
Yeah.
Is 20.
She's 20.
Yeah.
Have you ever given her any advice about men?
She wouldn't take it.
She wouldn't take it? What about the other one? Any others?
Yeah, I've given the youngest ones advice. Yeah, I have. I've talked to them about it.
Yeah? What's been your guidance to them?
I mean, I just said like you can't be a hoe. Like ladies, like the girls. I'm not too worried with them, but like I'm like you can't.
And if they go,
Don't be a hoe. Like men talk. You can't.
okay, but what if if they say, oh, but there are loads of other girls just having their fun, hot girl summer. Like, why can't I do
Like
that?
I'd say, I mean, you can. I'm not gonna stop you. You're grown. Like you can, but just know like you're less like valuable to guys if you do that. So in
Less
general,
valuable to guys
in general,
long term.
yeah, long term.
I hear that. I mean, yeah, guys do care about that. Guys
Yeah,
do care about that.
yeah.
That's true.
And I'd say there's like hot girls get away with more, so don't don't be like don't be moving like one of these 8s, 9s, and 10. Like they get
They get away with more.
yeah, of course. Just like
see.
rich guys get away with more. They don't have to have as much like personality or like whatever.
I
Like people
see.
get so same with pretty guys. To be honest,
I'd say
tall men get away with more. Like
I'd say like hot girls get away with more with guys who maybe aren't on their level, because guys who are on their level, if they get in a lot of attention as a guy, then he probably wouldn't. He'd be like, well, I don't have to tolerate that from you.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? But I see what you're saying. Attention is very powerful. It's very powerful. Everyone's looking for it, aren't they? It's a funny question. Do you feel that men today are more masculine, more feminine, or kind of half and half? What do you think?
yeah. I mean, I wasn't alive before this time.
I know you have knowledge, right?
I mean, I've heard more feminine,
Yeah.
and based on just like pictures I've seen from like 50, 100 years ago,
Yeah.
like I don't know, everyone's kind of fat nowadays,
Yeah. In the West, yeah.
and I feel like that makes you less masculine because how are you supposed to have like muscles? Like that's like a masculine.
Yeah, it definitely affects your hormones for sure. It
Yeah.
definitely affects your hormones. It's just funny, like we think, back in the day, 16-year-olds would be drafted for the war. They were in this country. And I'm like, if we had a World War III today,
Bro, we're losing.
I don't know if the generation would be as strong,
Nah,
as strong-willed.
Russia's winning. Yeah, they can't.
It's funny, like that's getting to politics. I don't get into that. So would you say you want to make men masculine again? I've heard that phrase before. Make men masculine again.
Not really. I mean, I'm just a big believer in people can do what they want to do, but here's the data, and you can do what you want with this.
As long as you accept.
Yeah, like my channel's more about entertainment, to be honest. Like if I had to say, I'm more entertainment than life advice.
Yeah.
Next channel I'm making is called Wife School.
Oh yes. Tell us about wife school.
It's like you take modern women into like we're turning modern women into wives. So me and Jess are gonna start. We're gonna be season 1,
Nice.
and we're gonna do like cook-offs. And it's gonna be funny because what we're gonna do is we'll have a guy, right, and you only go on a date with whatever food he likes better for one,
Hilarious.
and then a different one will be like modeling, like some model that'll like teach us how to like walk super modelly, and then another one will get like a stylist, then another one will get like so it's gonna be like wife school
On your
and
way,
then
go on.
and then we'll do it again, but with other girls. So then it'll be funny because we can yell at them and be like, and then we'll be like back in season 1. But that's ahead of myself. But yeah, that's probably coming in the next month.
Okay. Don't you think that kind of, I know, because a lot of guys say they like variety. So would that not be kind of you teaching everybody to be the same kind of woman in regards to for a man?
Look, if you don't want a girl that can cook, then that's fine.
I guess you're talking about skills as opposed to like personality.
I'm not telling. You don't have to take a girl from what you can pick a girl from the streets. I don't care. Like,
very true.
It's just this is for like entertainment, and it'll be I want to learn what type of food should I learn to make.
Yeah, you asking me?
Yeah.
It does depend on the man. If he's Nigerian, better learn that spicy food.
The spicy Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see.
She's already plotting.
I kind of want to learn how to make like homemade pizza actually from scratch.
I'll be honest. I think any homemade meal, no guy is gonna complain. I'll be honest.
No guy.
Most guys won't, unless
What if it's really bad?
if the food's bad, then yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But like if you're a decent cook and anything homemade, like I don't think any guy's gonna complain. To be honest. We got some news this week. Probably when this episode comes out, probably a couple of weeks ago. Mr. Andrew Tate has been banned off the socials.
I know. Andrew, come back. He was supposed to. It's the worst part.
Go on.
He followed me, and he was supposed to come on. He's gonna come on my show. That's the worst.
He can still come on your show.
Yeah, but how do I get in contact with him? Not Instagram.
That's actually a very good point. I didn't actually think about. I was gonna say his online university, but you'd have to pay to get access. Oh, you can't even join because you're a woman.
Really?
Yeah, it's men only.
Oh, okay.
I think it's men only. You should try though.
Yeah, okay.
But if he followed you, then he obviously knows who you are, so it's still worth.
Yeah.
It's still worth doing it. What do you think about the kind of stuff that he says around dating between men and women and how things should work by his standards?
I mean, I think he speaks a lot of facts, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just like anyone, I don't agree with anything that anyone says. Like, everything that anyone says, but...
Yeah.
It's kind of weird you have to disclaim that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? True. Like, that's kind of implied. You don't agree with I don't agree with every single thing Kit says, but I don't have to disclaim that.
Oh,
but
she really doesn't. We've had a couple of
but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird you have to say that when someone's controversial.
Yeah, but you agree with the foundation of his message.
Like, they call me Andrea Kate.
Andrea Kate.
On TikTok, that's like they'll put like Andrea Kate W.
That's so funny. I think in regards to his content, I understand why he says a lot of what he says. I think there is something about what he advocates for only applies for the very small percentage of men.
True.
And like the truth is in life, not everybody can be a winner. Like, and this is something that what's his name? Sneeko.
Yeah.
Because I watched the debate between him and ABBA, and Sneeko was like, no, everybody can be rich, everybody can be whatever. And it's like, well, no, because if everyone's rich, then no one's rich. Do you know what I mean?
Think about it. Everyone's rich today. Everyone's a winner. We have a higher standard of living than anyone has in all of human history. So
by global standards, yeah.
Yeah, when you think about it, everyone's a winner today.
Well,
yeah.
In order to be winners, there has to be losers, right?
Not really. Comparison's the thief of joy. Like, I'm telling you, you take someone from 500 years ago, place them today, they're thinking they're living the freaking life, even if they're poor.
It's so true.
And it's like, but like we compare and we're like, oh, well, that guy's richer than me, even though everyone's winning.
Well, what I would say, while I agree with that, when it comes to dating, that doesn't work the same. So what I mean is, it's not like, because it's all relative. And that's what I'm trying to say in terms of winning or losing or whatever. By normal standards or historical standards, yeah, everybody's doing way better than anyone else. But like at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter if everybody who runs the 100 meters today is faster than the fastest person 80 years ago.
In dating?
Well, in dating, what I mean is like the percentage is still the same in terms of it's only the top percentage of men. Right.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it goes back to comparison. Because if you go to a percentage, like if you want to say 1%, like that's a percentage. So there's only so many people that can like be in 1%, but it doesn't make everyone else a loser. It's just how you it's how you look at it.
Very true.
So you could argue everyone's winning today.
But I would say, going back to Andrew Tate's message, that the way he says to operate, especially as a man, only really speaks for the top percentage. It's not about what you have today. It's about the percentage you are.
I don't know, because I was thinking about this a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna get corrected, but in Nigeria, isn't it common to have multiple wives, and like certain countries like that?
Well, so it's in Islam, it is, and Nigeria is primarily more Christian, but there's a community of Muslim.
Because I was like, I swore I met a couple people from Nigeria, and their like grandpa or something had like multiple wives, or like.
So my grandfather's grandfather did. No, my grandfather's father did. Yes.
Yeah.
But he was Muslim. So it's more of a religious thing as opposed to like a cultural thing?
I don't know. I don't even think it's like money. Like, I think there's so many bums that they have multiple baby mamas. They might as well have multiple wives.
There are multiple baby mamas. Yeah, that's very
Like,
true.
you could, and they're sleeping with all of them. And they don't have to pay for them.
Yeah.
Like, I guess child support they kind of do, but
Yeah.
it's like basically multiple wives.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, less than half of men have ever reproduced anyway.
Yeah,
historically,
no, I
to be
know.
fair.
Yeah.
Something that you said on your channel, you said about women who say men are trash is the same as men say all women are whores. Or something.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that?
Well, it's like, okay, if you think men are trash, the men you've dealt with are probably trash, and it's probably because you can't attract the men that aren't trash. And if you say women are whores, it's probably because all the women you've dealt with are whores, and you can't attract the women that aren't whores.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Can't disagree with that logic. Do you not think there's an element of because I think sometimes different women say men are trash for different reasons, and I think I've heard a lot of women express, "Oh, men are trash because they don't want to commit," right? And while sexual, go on.
Sorry. I interrupted you.
Go ahead. So what I was going to say was, while sexual liberation has been great in many circumstances, what it's inadvertently done is, while it's liberated women sexually, it's given the power to the top percentage of men. So in that, because if they've, they say if you want to test a man's character, you give him power. Is maybe not just those decisions that men not deciding to commit as a result of just the landscape that the dating is now, as opposed to because they're bad people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think they're bad people. If you put a hunter, the girls that read Why Men Love Bitches, they love this analogy because Steve Harvey, the hunter, and you give him more than one prey that are on a silver platter on Tinder.
He's gonna take it.
And he eats multiple deer, gazelle.
Yeah.
Can you blame him? You put it on a...
You can't blame him.
Just like if a girl gets asked out by a millionaire and more than one millionaire asks her on a date and she goes on 2 dates.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she's hypergamous.
Let's talk about abortion. The whole Roe v. Wade overturned, all of this. What's your thoughts on abortion? I know this is kind of more political, but I think it would be a good topic for us to talk about.
I think that abortion is bad.
You think it's bad?
Yeah.
You think it should be illegal?
Yeah.
You do?
If it was in Pearl's world, I don't think it'll ever be 100% illegal, but yeah, if it was up to me.
Why do you... Because my stance is very much to each their own. So even if I had a partner and we were like, we'd never get an abortion, that is like, if someone down the road wants to do it, let her do it. Do you know what I mean? Why can't we just give people the choice, and people who don't believe in it just choose not to do it?
I mean, that's kind of what they do.
Yeah, but like,
because I think it's a kid. I mean, have you ever seen an abortion procedure?
I haven't.
I think if you watched it, you would have a really hard time with it. They pull the baby's limbs off one by one, and then they crush the skull and vacuum it out. If they did that to dogs, people would be protesting. But like, for some reason, we can do it with people.
Well, I think let's not deny that you are ending a life.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to deny that you are ending a life. The second cells are growing, it's life. There's an argument about when it's life. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. But then at the end of the day, it's the woman's it's the woman's body, and it's her child. And because
then why can't she do it outside the womb?
Can't do what?
Why can't she kill the baby?
Well, she doesn't want it. Should she?
But it's her child. You said one of the arguments is that it's her child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about after? It's her child.
Oh, why can't she kill the baby?
Yeah. Why not?
After
you said it's her child. It's still her child after.
Well, I mean, parents beat their kids, I guess.
All right, clip that.
Why can't she do it outside the womb? Well,
Because then you're saying it's based on location? Because then why can't she do it at 9 months? It's still her body.
it's true. I mean, the argument for when it should be allowed.
It doesn't it's in my body. My choice doesn't make sense because then you should be able to get an abortion at 9 months. And I know
Some
you
people would.
Yeah, I know. That's the crazy
But
thing.
here's okay.
Some people do.
But so for me, I would, if people want to get an abortion at 9 months, I would disagree with that. But I would still vote for let people to like. If people want to do that, then I'd be like, go do it.
You think legally they should be able to kill a baby? Like, okay, it can come out any day now. Pull the limbs off. Crush the skull, vacuum it out.
Yeah.
At 8 months, 9 months.
I would not.
You think that should be legal?
I'd say give them the choice. Yeah.
Right, you're nuts.
Yeah.
You
give
know,
them the choice.
you know you're wrong for that.
But I mean,
you're wrong
I would not want that for anyone in my family.
Yeah.
And if anyone in my family wants to do that, I'd be like, absolutely not. But what I'm trying to say is, even if you take
up to 9.
But here's the thing, though. What I'm trying to say is this.
Oh, you are wild.
Even if you take the position of, like, that's destroying someone's life, I'd be like, well, if people want the freedom to do that, that's their own choice, and they have the consequences that come with that.
Why not outside the womb a week later?
Well, because the baby's not a citizen until it comes out the womb.
Oh Lord.
Is that not the case?
If a baby can survive on its own out the womb, why wouldn't they just give birth?
No, but what I'm saying, you asked me why not outside the womb, and I said because the baby's not a citizen of the state until that happens.
In the U.S., and if you go into like South Korea, they count it like from the moment it's conceived. It's like culturally different.
Well, I know.
So, I agree with you. Like, you're right, but I'm saying like that doesn't make it right just because the law says something.
Well, I think there are a lot of things that we can think are morally wrong that are legally okay because it depends on what your ideology is. So, like, people think sex outside of marriage is wrong. A lot of people do, but that's because of their ideology. It's not illegal to have sex. Now it's kind of like, okay, well, if I'm a Christian, I can be like, if people want to do if I was like an avid Christian, if people want to go against the Bible, which I would never recommend, that's their choice.
Yeah, you're waiting, right?
I'm waiting what?
You said you would never recommend going against the Bible.
Going against the Bible? No, I'm not an avid Christian. I'm not an avid Christian.
But I'm saying, I think you're full of shit right now.
Why?
I think that if you saw an abortion at 8 months, 7 months, 6 months, I think you would absolutely think it should not be legal. I don't believe in my heart of hearts, my soul of soul. I think you're trying to poke a bear.
I'll be honest. I've been to Nigeria like plenty of times growing up. I've seen worse than that.
Look at.
So,
I don't believe that you would see a baby getting pulled out limb by limb. I just don't believe it. I don't believe if you saw it. I think people don't see it. And it's easier.
Right,
it's like see no evil, hear no evil.
You're absolutely right. I'm not denying that.
And so I think if people saw it, like, why do you think it's so hard to, like, if you Google like abortion videos, they're hard to pull up.
I agree.
People don't want to see what's happening.
It's like people who it's like vegetarians or vegans making meat eaters watch documentary on animal cruelty because they're like, well, if you see how the beef got to you, you would become vegetarian or vegan. I completely agree with that, but I like eating beef, so that's why I've not watched it.
Yes.
Because you're right.
So you're saying you like knowing that's a fail-safe? You're like knowing that's a fail-safe, so you're not going to watch it?
Well, I know. Well, I'm saying that it's not. I'm not disagreeing, saying it's impossible. If I saw that, then I'd be like, it could be such a visual experience.
I've been to farms. I would stand by it. I probably wouldn't stand by how they do it.
What? You talking about killing animals?
Yeah. Like, I probably wouldn't stand by, like, the big ones, with the But I bet my mom grew up on a farm. They almost have a good life until they die.
Yeah, but I mean, not all animals that are processed, they're like, I've seen a few things. Yeah. And not all of them are, there's some bad stuff, but like, I like eating meat, so there is a see no evil, hear no evil. Yeah. There is that element, so I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that why can't you just have that stance for yourself as opposed to for the country?
Okay. Because it goes back to, do you think it's a life or not? Like, and if you genuinely think that's a life,
Yep.
then like it's murder. So if you genuinely, it's like, cause that's the real question that I think like pro-lifers and pro-abortion people are arguing. When is it a life? What defines life and when is it a life? I would say conception, but you know, then pro-choice people will just move the goalpost and be like, whenever I feel like it. So
I disagree. I think go on.
so I'm saying, like, if it's a life, then it should be illegal to kill them. I think point blank period. But if it's not a life, then I see where they're coming from.
Right. I mean, I would agree that it is a life. Like, you are ending a life. I'm just saying that while I would not advocate for anyone who I know and love to do that, I'm like, if people want to end people's lives in their own family, I'm like, go let them do it. I don't.
Oh God. So what about kids? Do you think like a mother should be able to kill her kid after it's out?
Well, it says in the Bible, the child suffers the sin of the father. So it would be her. What happens to the kid is entirely her responsibility, and she has to live with that. And that's what I'm saying. If it was like my sister, I would be like, no, don't do it. But if other people want to suffer those,
answer this question though. So a 2-year-old, I have a 2-year-old. Can I kill it?
I would. What do you mean when you say can? What do you mean? By law standards, legal standards?
Yeah,
no.
should that be legal? Why not? It's like based on your argument, I should.
Well, by then it's a citizen of the state, so.
So your argument is like life begins when the government says it's a person.
No, I'm saying that when you become a citizen of the state, which is when you're born, that's when you're protected by human rights. That's just the way it is right now.
Wow, I can't believe you believe abortion up to birth.
I don't believe. But I do.
If you think it should be legal, then that's what you believe. Because that's.
I just don't care what people do.
Yeah.
And that's the stance I'm taking. I don't care what people do. I don't think it's good that people are addicted to cocaine, but it's not illegal for them to do that. If people want to go do that, go have fun.
Yeah.
I would never advocate for anyone I love to do that.
Yeah, but you think it should be legal for these girls to get abortions up to 9? Like, that's just wild to me. You know that's wild.
I'm saying...
I know you.
No, I'm saying that people should have the choice. Yeah. People... Look, I'm saying this,
You don't really believe this. I don't believe you.
No, what I mean is like...
You think abortion up to 9 months should be legal? No.
If that's what people want, yeah.
Oh, wow.
If that's what people want. I would never...
Wild. That's wild.
But what I'm saying is, just because I say it should be... I'm saying just because I'm saying it shouldn't be it should be legal doesn't mean I'm advocating for people to do it. It's one of the things that Jordan Peterson says is how do we guide good behavior without mandating it. So I'm saying give people the choice. If people are willing to accept the consequence, like going through an abortion can be a traumatic experience. So if a girl does that, right, she accepts the trauma that comes with it. That's her choice. And I'm like, give her the choice to do that.
If it was that traumatic, then why do 40% of women that have had abortions get 2 or more?
Well, some do. That doesn't mean they don't go back into it.
I'm saying like it's clearly not that traumatic because they keep doing the same thing over and over again. And if you make it legal, that means more people will do it, by and large.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm saying like why in a society you just have trade-offs.
Yeah.
So, like, why would you encourage people to make bad decisions by making things legal?
But there are plenty of things that are legal that people make bad decisions.
Not in Pearl's world. I would get everything legal.
Okay, so I could ask, like, okay, would you have a limit to how many drinks someone can buy in a night?
Maybe.
You would?
Possibly.
So you would stop people from buying more drinks if they're on a hen do, if they're a stag do, a party, their birthday. You would stop people at a certain limit.
No, you wouldn't legalize it. If I was to... I'd go after drugs if it was up to me, for sure. Like, I like how China, you like get the death penalty if you're a drug dealer. I'd probably do something like that.
I got that, but alcohol is the same.
Alcohol,
same venue.
What? Alcohol, you're saying it's the same or it's not the same?
Well, in terms of the intoxication on the body, it has it's in the same realm.
I know,
as
that's
drugs.
what I was thinking. I was like, you could argue. So if I was going to go after alcohol, I would make it illegal and then go after the dealers. That's if I was going to do that. I'm not saying I would.
I think a lot of people would be very pissed at you for that.
I'm not saying I would. I'm saying it wouldn't be off the table in Pearl's presidency. I'd have to like think about this more, like why? Because why is alcohol the only one that's legal?
Because I think it's easier for them to make money off it than others.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's the only reason.
And my question is there another reason I don't know?
What about smoking? Would you make smoking illegal?
Like what? What are they making? Smoke?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes?
Tobacco.
Yeah, I hate walking outside.
You'd
and
make it
someone
illegal?
Puffs it. Yeah. Why not?
They're going to come for you, boy.
Why not? Why not? I'll just add it to my list.
That's okay.
I just get annoyed when I go on the street and like, yeah, let's put it on there.
Yeah, fair enough. I hear that. Let's jump back into dating because that's what everyone's here for. If there was one thing you could ask, there's one thing you could ask. I don't say men in general. It was one thing you could ask men who are maybe struggling in the dating world, because I think a lot of people don't realize that most guys are struggling. Like 30% of guys under 30 are virgins. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If there was one thing you could ask them, what would you ask them?
Well, why would I ask them if they're struggling? Like, I don't know. What would I?
Well, to help them.
Oh, like, but I wouldn't ask them a question to help them.
You don't want to help them?
Well, I'm just thinking when you help someone, you tell them to do something. When you ask a question, usually you want advice. If I was gonna ask them a question to help them, then I'd probably ask them like questions about like what they're doing now so they could get better results in the future. So I'd probably start with just like go get jacked. I feel like being jacked gives you like 2 points as a dude. You can take an average looking guy. If he's strong, like you get like 2 points.
It doesn't matter about height?
Well, you can't change your height.
Yeah.
Height, it matters, but like what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I hear that. Is there anything you want to bring up? To men and women?
To men and women?
Yeah. I know you do a lot of talking in your own show, but
not really. I rolled out of bed before this interview.
She really did. She forgot we were doing it tonight. I was very offended. And I had to go pick her up as well. The audacity.
Don't use the audacity on me.
Yeah, I used that, boy. The audacity.
What do I want to bring up? I'll grill you. Grill you.
Okay. Oh no. I'm scared. We're going to end it there, guys. No, I'm joking. She's set up and everything. She's ready.
No, I'm thinking. Has a girl ever been... No, I know the answer to this question.
I'm literally thinking, what have I told her in the past before?
No. I was like, no. Okay, has a girl ever stalked you?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Oh, well, this was a girl who was like, she'd seen me in a couple of my shows, so she was a little bit of a fan, and I was like, oh, that's fun, that's cool. Someone who like looks at you as like a nice inspiration, likes what you do. So we went on a couple of dates. She was really nice. She seemed all cool.
Oh,
but then,
huh? You can't date fans.
You can't. Well, this is when I learned.
You can't.
This is when I learned you can't. So it was like, and I'll ask you the same. So it was like, went on a few dates. It was cool. It was nice. I just didn't feel the vibe was right. Mm-hmm. So then I just said to her that I think she's great, but I think we should just be friends, nothing more. And then she just showed up at my house a couple of times, to be honest.
She showed up at your house?
I lived at my dad's at the time. And she showed up at my dad's, claiming like she left something in my car. And I'm like, that was like 2 weeks ago. Like, how have you left it there?
What'd your dad say?
I don't know if I should say what he said.
What did he say?
He's like, what do you do to these girls? I was like, I don't do anything. We actually didn't do anything. So, but yeah, I think that's the worst of it.
Your dad. What do you do? Is this a common occurrence? Has this happened more than once?
No, it's not happened more. No.
Why are you hesitating?
No, because I was thinking.
Okay, so like usually I interview people. So usually when people hesitate, it means they're like thinking of a story. So like
I was thinking if a couple of stories qualify for what you were asking for.
Okay, but they're close. They're kind of close. That's what you thought about.
That's how I had to think of it.
So they stalk you somewhere else?
Not stalking. It's hard to stalk, like, because people stalk people on social media. It's kind of more like...
So like burner accounts? Do you have some burner accounts that watch your story immediately? Ladies, you already know.
You know, I've only
User
noticed
5432.
User 543XY. I know you're watching. No, I know a couple of maybe, but yeah, because social media, like everybody can have so much access to what's going on in your life if you post enough, so they don't actually need to physically stalk you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I should ask the same to you. Have you ever dated a fan before? An experience with that's a something. That wasn't a no.
No,
Because I interview people too.
I've gone on a date with the fan, but there was no second date. So.
Really? Why? What happened?
Nothing really, to be honest. It wasn't like, it was just, I don't know, like it was fine. And then you just don't go on, but yeah.
Have you ever been stalked?
No.
You've never been stalked?
No, I don't think so.
You're being stalked right now. You just don't know it.
Someone's
probably stalking you.
I get nervous sometimes.
Do you?
I get scared sometimes. Like, it's just, I have had someone threaten to come beat me up in my apartment. I'm more scared of women, to be honest, than men.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because they're crazy. Like, because a man knows if he hits me, like, there's consequences, or like a woman, like, they just get away with everything. So, like, yeah, this girl was like threatening to come to my apartment and beat me up.
Did she know you're like 6 foot?
Yeah, I don't know. She was, I don't know. So,
what's your friend Jess, who if anybody watches Post channel, you would see. She used to have what you would call kind of the modern woman's mindset in regards to dating and men, right? And then you kind of red pilled her.
So she wasn't too bad.
Oh, she was already kind of on the wavelength, or?
I mean, I think every girl's kind of modern to some extent. Like, you don't really have like.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, she's really open-minded, but there's some girls that are like super too far gone, but she was kind of in the middle. She didn't, but then you just show her stuff and she's like, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
No, well, I was just going to say, what was, how was her, because she's a female friend of yours, and I know you said, you've kind of felt that some female friends of yours might have distanced themselves because of your views and et cetera, et cetera.
Because they've said that. So, like, word for word.
They have said that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, yeah.
That's why I think that.
But obviously she's still a close friend, and maybe her opinions have shifted. And I want to see how much have they shifted in regards to, the things that you say about women and men and dating and stuff.
No, I would say she looks at the world different too. Because it's like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. The world discriminates against men. Even in our language, like, he knocked her up. Why is it on him?
Yeah, that's true.
She got pregnant. Like, it's even in our language, like, we take accountability off of women.
Well, I hear that. But what I would say is there not an element, if you want a man to be the leader, then he does have to take responsibility for the people that he wants to lead, right?
Would you say most women are letting men lead?
Most women in relationships? Or I think so, yeah. Because I think happy relationships are quiet. You don't hear about them. You only hear about the bad ones. And I think there's more happy ones that people realize.
Why are 50% of women that hit 30 single and childless?
Say again.
Why are 50% of women that hit 30 single and childless if women are letting men lead by and large?
Well, no, when you asked, I said within relationships. I didn't say who was single. Yeah, but that's not
the majority. Like, I always ask women, what would you require for submission? And I say to the point, like, he tells you to quit your job and you trust him. He's figuring it out.
Yeah. So do you believe?
And it's always top, like, 6 figures, top 10% guy. And I say, then my next question, are you top 10% women? No. So
in regards to earnings?
No, in regards to looks and like are you in the top 10% of women competitively? Like, in the market, you go take 100 women. Are you in the top 10% when it comes to like femininity, looks, like what? By and large, we can kind of agree what men like.
I hear that. Yeah,
by and large.
Yeah.
In the same way, like, there's some nuance, but are you in the top 10%? They'll say no. Average guys can't get submission, only like top 10% guys.
Why do you think would you say this mindset is quite common with your experience with talking to women.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's really common amongst women, but men? Do you think men are unrealistic as well, or?
No, it's because you guys keep screwing these fat chicks.
Oh.
These average girls. No, it's okay. It's because the hot guys gas up the girls' ego, so they think they're like hotter than they are.
Did that not used to happen though?
No.
Has that not always happened?
Because before you had brothers and dads to tell you, oh, honey, don't go there.
Oh, so you think it's because they're not being told at home?
No, it's partially because women we're horrible left to our own devices. Horrible.
No, you're just repeating that.
No, I genuinely believe
You're
that.
just repeating that from Myron Gaines.
Myron, no, not Myron. No, I believe that. Like men, okay. Who do you think would pick a better husband, in general?
A father.
Yeah.
But who would pick a better wife? A mother or a father?
Probably mother.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your point? like all the things. Carry on.
No, actually.
Because all the things that I'll be honest, like all the things when it comes to women and what to look out for, I get that from my mum, not my dad.
I'm not saying it doesn't go both ways. But I'm
Okay.
saying left to our own devices in dating, we don't do well. It's better to have men involved.
So do you believe the same for men? Left to their own devices, they don't do well?
Not always, but I think men are a little bit more logical in general. By and large. I think men in general make decisions based on logic more than emotion. I think women make decisions on emotion more than logic. The issue with men is they have this innate like protection thing towards women.
That's very
true. I
true.
think women take advantage of that. That's what I think. And so I don't necessarily think like a lot of guys get into the situation they're in because their girl kind of like traps them to some level. Like
how do you mean?
Like,
outside of trapping them with a baby, how do you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. A baby, or like he's around long enough where he kind of feels like he has to get married, is what I see. And
thing is, I would argue that's his. He doesn't have to do anything. Like if he chooses to, then that's the choice he makes.
I agree, but that's a different mindset than a lot of guys, Kit.
But
like
then that's on the guy, not on the girl.
You're right, but we're in a society that like caters to women. And so I'm saying he's been told from a young age to man up, be more. That's your responsibility. Get married. Like he's been told all these things that cater women from like a young age.
Yeah.
So it's not as quick as just turn that off. Some guys like you get it. You're like, nah, I ain't. Like pipe down.
I don't say that all the time. No, I'm joking.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you get it. But a lot of guys like don't know their value. Because women have been telling them they ain't shit from like a young age. But girls use that like innate protection and their beauty to like, I think, put up a smoke screen against a lot of guys. Just like my friend actually I wouldn't call her a friend, but like girl on my associate.
An acquaintance.
Yeah. In college, right?
Yes.
Like she had a whole smoke screen up to get what she wanted.
Right.
And I think a lot of guys like, I just think women take advantage of it. I'm not saying it doesn't go both ways, but I think like women, we can see more like, we're like, I know that trick because I done that trick.
Right.
I done that. Like, nah.
Yeah, women are more emotionally adept.
But I think like by and large, like men, I think if I had to pick, right, who picks better of the opposite gender on their own? I think men pick better wives than women pick husbands.
Do you? I would disagree.
By and large,
I think today men don't pick better wives.
Well, yeah, there's not a lot to pick from.
Huh?
There's not a lot to pick from.
It's not a lot to pick from. But I mean, like if we take the stance, so we know 80% of divorces are initiated by the woman. How much of that is because he chose the wrong kind of woman?
Do you think 50% of women are the wrong kind of women?
As in, like, for him, if she wasn't going to stay with him long term, because I mean, like, arguably, if you chose, you even said it yourself, if a girl's a virgin or had been with less than 5 sexual partners, she's more likely to have a successful marriage. But we know full well most men aren't choosing those kind of women to marry. So how much of men being divorced by women is actually because men are making bad choices in who they choose to marry?
I would say it's because women don't want to get married at the ages that they would be the best wife. So if a girl has in the UK, what's the average age of first marriage?
I think it's 20 for a woman or man.
Women.
I think it's 28.
31.
Is it 31?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's like men 32, women 31.
Okay.
Women don't want to get married when they have the most to offer as a wife.
Did they used to?
Yeah.
Back in the day?
Yes.
What do you think's changed?
Birth control. They get to fuck around for 10 years.
Interesting.
That's if you look at the divorce rate and you look at the rate of women using hormonal birth control, they're like the same. You could put a pop-up. I'll send you the chart. It's mad. It's like when the divorce rate goes up, it's like the same when women start using birth control.
As in when a woman gets divorced, she goes on birth control?
No, like the rate at which women use birth control.
As
in the 70s.
Yeah.
I believe it was the 70s when women started taking birth control.
Yeah.
At that same time, the divorce rate went up. And if you put the charts next to each other, where it's like the percentage of women on birth control versus, or like the rate of women taking, it was something like that basically said how many women were taking birth control.
Right.
And how many women were getting like divorced.
Right.
It was like the same.
Okay.
So they get the...
But there could be a correlation, but that doesn't mean a causation.
That's true. But...
Right.
You gotta look at the chart.
They
mad.
go hand in hand.
You don't think there's any... Because it gives women the option to fulfill both mating strategies.
I think that's the main thing, yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
that's the main thing.
I'm sure...
Most before they didn't.
Yeah, because they can sleep with the hot guys in their 20s, and then their 30s, they find the dude to take care of them. But like the problem is most guys, they don't know this. Do you think dude from college has any idea that his girl was getting screwed in the bathroom? I'm telling you, if I showed you the girl, brought her in a room and introduced you guys to her, you would have no idea. I promise to God, you would have no idea.
Maybe that's fair.
You wouldn't guess. And that's the thing, like guys don't realize like they're the girl's second choice.
I think there are a few cues, I think.
Yeah, if you know what to look for.
Yeah, you have to know what to look for.
Yeah, but if you don't know what to look for, like... Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I think it's funny because when you... maybe it's less nowadays, but I know in school growing up, into the teens, into my 20s, like when you asked girls what they wanted, a lot of them would express wanting a relationship, someone they care, admire and stuff. So they're not expressing that they... And I think they still do want that. So the whole thing of them, you know, like you said, using both mating strategies in the sense of messing around so she gets the alpha seed and then getting the beta need later on. Like, most of the expression comes from wanting something with one person, not messing with the feels, just trying to get the hot guy.
Yeah, but he's not real.
Who's not real?
The perfect combination of both.
But what I mean is, you're saying the mating strategy is that she can have casual sex with the hot guy and then get the...
No, she'll try to lock down the hot guy. It's like bad boys can't be locked down. They're for the streets forever. You think Future.
Yeah.
She'll lock down the alpha if she can. She'll try her best, even maybe get a kid off of him. Yeah. But you can't. They're for like, why would they? Yeah. And so it's like...
Do you think bad boys are for the streets forever? Do you think they can be locked down?
Okay. For the most part.
Okay.
Some do settle down. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. But I think with the marriage laws being how they are, women being how they are, it's good luck convincing that man to leave the streets. You can't.
It depends. I think it depends on.
And I'm saying I'm not talking about guys that are like sleep with a lot of girls. I'm talking about the bad boys. Like,
so give us the difference.
Okay. There are guys that just sleep around because they're young, and then there's like the drug dealers.
Not every bad boy's a drug dealer. No,
you're right. Or like the I don't know. It's just I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like the Futures of the world. Okay, that's the best way I would describe it. Is the Futures versus the Russell Wilson. I'm sure you don't think Russell Wilson slept around.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like he probably did too.
Yeah. But would you say
So-
it's not? Well, I guess.
But you can
maybe
just
depends on what
you
he
can just tell
wants.
the difference. I don't know.
It's like if he is living life for his own pleasures, and then I think if a man wants to find meaning in life, then I think that's when he chooses to prioritize building a legacy and then choosing one woman.
Yeah.
But I think if he's just a man who's I just want to enjoy the pleasures that life has to give, then yeah, I agree. He's one of the futures of the world. I hear that. That makes sense.
Like future. He I think he's engaged. Is he ever like? And he just released a song about Sierra Demon. Like,
Yeah.
he's on Demon Time. Like,
Yeah, no, I hear that.
yeah.
I hear that. I'm gonna ask something that I think some of your viewers would definitely ask. Do you want to get married?
I do.
Yeah. How do you, as a modern day woman, want to? How are you going about finding a
Wife
man
school.
to potentially-
Wife school.
But like, who's being your wife school?
Who's you wait. Tune into my channel. Tune into my channel.
So what, you're gonna have the auntie?
Auntie's coming.
I need to meet this auntie. She's
look
great.
at wife school.
How long has she
You
been
wait. You'll all be cooking the Nigerian food. You won't even know what to do with
let's
me.
get
You
it,
don't even know what
boy.
to do with me.
Let's get it, boy. I'll take that.
You wait. Oh my gosh.
Let's take that. I always love talking to you, and I think we know we can find you, but where can we find you, just for our audience?
Just Pearly Things. Not on TikTok, apparently.
Oh yeah, you got banned, right?
Yeah, they took that. Actually, I do have a second one, but I think they're about to take that one too. So
Why'd you? It's coming off.
I'm on view only. Let me actually check. Like, you want to see if I got? It's just Pearly Things 2.
Yeah.
I'm on account warning on that, so I still have that one. And if that gets banned, just Pearly Things 3.
God damn. It's
And
like
then-
it's the sequels, boys. It's the sequels, guys.
And then on Just Pearly Things on YouTube and Instagram, just .pearlythings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one last question.
Yes.
Actually, for women, what if you were going to give them a reason to hear the things that you're saying that may be hard to swallow? What is the reason that you would give for them? Like, why should they watch you, or why should they listen to the message that you advocate for, as well as the red pill?
Don't. Honestly.
Did you just say they shouldn't?
No, listen. It's less competition for me. Don't.
Fair enough. You heard it here first. Pearl, we love you. Thank you for coming on. As always. We'll let you get back to your sleep. And I can't believe she tried to sleep in. I didn't let her do it. I was like, you're getting up for this. But thank you for tuning. Go on.
You didn't have to convince me. I said give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I did. I was just like, if she tried to get out of it, I'd have been like, nah, I'm not about it.
You were lucky. I
it.
am low maintenance. I can get ready quick.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode.
Pow.